Welcome everyone to another podcast. And today we are going to discuss the morning routines which are going to be better for your mental health. What if I told you that the first 10 minutes of your morning could make a difference between your day filled with anxiety or a day in which you feel in control? Here's something that most people don't realize. Your brain is making critical decisions about your stress levels, your mood, and your mental resilience even before you have finished your first coffee. And if you are starting the day by grabbing your phone, which 80% of the people do, you have already lost the battle. But here's the good news, there are four simple habits which take less than 15 minutes and you can completely rewire your brain, how it handles stress. Let's dive in. Let's welcome Sukhman Gosal, who is going to tell us more about all this and how we can manage our morning. Supan, can you tell us why are the morning routines so crucial for mental health specifically, and why can't we just focus on evening routines or other habits throughout the day?
Yeah, definitely. So here's the thing, your morning is going to set the emotional and the mental tone for the next 12 to 16 hours, which is your remainder of the day. So
Hmm?
think of your mind when you first wake up as fresh soil. So whatever you plant in those first 30 to 60 minutes, your first hour of the day, it's going to grow throughout your day. So when you
Hmm.
immediately, let's say, immediately you grab your phone and you start doom scrolling through your emails or your news or social media, the
Yeah.
moment you wake up, you're basically handing over control of your mental state to what's overall happening in the world. You're bringing your brain and infiltrating it with everything, the political environment, the gory, the
Yeah.
violence is happening around the globe, and all the news that shouldn't actually be infiltrating your brain the first thing after you wake up. So your brain goes into this reactive mode. Your stress
Hmm.
hormones, your cortisol levels, they spike, and your nervous system is going to activate. You're suddenly in a flight or fight response before you have even had breakfast. So here's what um, nobody is going to tell you about cortisol or your stress hormones. Once it spikes in the morning, it will stay elevated for hours, and it creates
Hmm.
this stress cycle that's almost impossible to break. But a simple breathing exercise, a breathing technique, can stop this spike, this cortisol spike, and I'll show you exactly how in just a moment. Um, but what I basically want to say is when you intentionally create space for yourself, first thing in the morning, time for yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you are training your brain to be proactive instead of reactive. You're literally rewiring your neural pathways, you're rewiring your brain. And studies show that people who have these consistent morning routines, they report about 40 to 60% less anxiety throughout the day. They report better emotional regulation and improved focus and attention as well. And I would also add that mornings are when your willpower is the strongest. You wake up
Yeah.
with sort of like an intention, you have a fresh start. It's the one time of the day when you have the most mental energy. And you don't want to drain that doing doom scrolling or whatever, and you want to invest that mental energy in yourself before life's demands start pulling at you.
Yeah, I completely agree with that because I have faced it myself. Lot of days in the morning I'm very motivated. I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, and then suddenly I start checking some emails, I start checking some messages, or I have a conversation with someone on, let's say, WhatsApp or some other messenger, and then my plans just take a back seat, and I even forget sometimes about what I was about to do. So I have even started doing it in a different way, that I start writing all those things so that even if I have being distracted by all these things, I still come back to this written notes that, okay, I have to do this, so I can get back to it. Okay, now that comes to our second question regarding this. What should we do in those first few minutes after waking up? And what are the biggest mistakes people make that actually damage their mental health?
I would say the biggest mistake, as we talked about before, is just reaching for your phone the second your alarm goes off. And this single action, as we talked before, it can derail your mental state, entire mental state, because immediately bombarded. You're immediately bombarding your brain with this information, with
Yeah,
comparisons with others, with certain obligations that we have, with other people's agendas, and as you were talking as well, you have texts from family or friends that you want to check and you reply to first. These all things make your willpower, your mental state derail into another thing, your family business or your friends and what's happening in their lives. You don't have time for yourself. Instead, if you try this, when you wake up, you take 3 breaths before you even sit up. Just lie there on your bed for 30 seconds and breathe deeply in through your nose for 4 counts. So hold for 4, out through your mouth for 6 counts. And this activates this very simple breathing technique will activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's natural calm down mechanism, which is it's a
okay.
mechanism that helps in slowing your heart rate. It's a mechanism that promotes rest and relaxation and recovery. And this is a technique, as I mentioned earlier, it's backed by neuroscience. The 6 count exhale, it's longer than your 4 count inhale for a very specific reason that most meditation teachers actually never explain. It's that it's a scientific reason. It triggers your vagus nerve, and the vagus
Mhm.
nerve carries signal between your brain, your heart, and your digestive system. They are a key part of your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and recovery system. It sends a direct signal to your brain saying, we are safe now, we can relax. Then, as you sit up, do a quick body scan. Notice how you feel physically. Just notice. So, are you tense? Are you tired? Are you fatigued? You are feeling energized? How are you feeling? You don't have to judge it. You don't have to be like, I slept for 6 hours. Why am or I slept for 8 hours. Why am I waking up tired? You don't have to judge it. You just have to notice, and this will take literally 20 seconds, but it's going to bring you into the present moment and out of that mental chatter, mental noise that usually will start immediately if you are reaching out for your phone, let's say. And then finally, after this, you're going to set an intention for the day. It's not going to be a to-do list, it's going to be an intention. So it's going to be something like, today I choose patience, or today I'm going to be kind to myself, today I'll stay present, or today I'm grateful for this or that thing in your life. So it's a very simple
Mhm.
sentence, and that is going to give your day this direction and how you're going to spend your day. You are the one dictating that.
Okay, and if someone is not a morning person, because a lot of people don't get up that early morning or they are a bit lazy in the morning, does this technique still work for those people, or it is just for some people who are naturally energetic?
Yeah, absolutely. It's also for some people who have night shifts or are spending long hours at work the night before and they are waking up with already elevated, spiked cortisol levels. They have some tension
Yeah.
going on in their family and they wake up late. So, absolutely, this isn't about becoming a morning person, it's about making the morning you are already given, considering the situations that you have, and making that morning work for you, not against you. So even if you wake up at noon, these principles, these breathing techniques that I just said, they still apply. And actually, if you are not a morning person, these techniques are even more important for you. They are more critical for you. And if you ask why, it's because your brain is already fighting harder against your natural rhythm, your
Yeah,
circadian rhythm,
yeah, exactly.
which means your stress response is already working overtime. Your body is already managing elevated or improperly timed cortisol levels. And there's one specific, as I said, breathing technique that can reverse this. And the key to that all techniques is just consistency. it's gentleness. So start with just 5 minutes. You don't need to spend 15 minutes, even 15 minutes on it. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just start slow. Even if you're groggy, you're grumpy, take those 3 deep breaths and have this one intention for the rest of your day, and that will shift your trajectory. It's not going to be one thing overnight, it shifts it. It's going to take time, but that's how you want to build your life. So you're not trying to feel amazing, you're just trying to feel slightly more grounded, slightly more intentional with yourself and your body than you would otherwise.
Yeah, I have heard it from other people as well that being grounded is and being relaxed is one of the best things you can do for yourself and for your mental health as well. And also regarding mindfulness, because once you have control over your emotions and you are grounded, you can do much better. You can take better decisions for yourself. And how can beginners start meditation practices without feeling overwhelmed or like if they are doing it wrong? Because a lot of people have this in their mind running all the time. If they are doing it, if something is happening, because even in the past, Osho has said that you should not try to get into meditation. Let it come to you on its own. So. Because I think that's what stops most of the people. What are your views on that?
Yeah, definitely. I think meditation is something that a lot of people, especially people from my age, are reluctant or hesitant to start, just
Yeah.
because they are not fully sure what this term carries, and they
Yeah.
don't want to do it, as you said, do it wrong or do it half-heartedly. So they are sort of like, oh, I'll start it when I get older, when I get into yoga,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
have this peace of mind. And teenagers or young adults are simply too busy. Or Gen Z simply thinks
Mhm.
they are too sort of busy. They have a lot of problems. They have work problems, school problems, or friend problems to even think about meditation. So they kind of run away from it. But I want to redefine meditation. So it's not about completely emptying your mind or achieving this sort of like blissful, unheard of state of nothingness and happiness and peace. Meditation is simply the practice of noticing noticing where your mind wanders, and sort of like if your mind is wandering, trying to gently bring it back, trying to be just more intentional with it and taking care of your body, and that's it. So for beginners or for people who have just gotten into this, I would say just start with 3 minutes, and
Mm.
people
Three
will be
minutes is
surprised
quite
like
small
three
time.
minutes
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a short period of time,
Yeah.
but you simply sit comfortably, you close your eyes and focus on your breath. Count each time you exhale. So one, two, like you exhale, you count that, then start over. Your mind will wander. You will go to other places. You will go to your to do list or you will go into the like whatever is happening in the world or whatever is happening with your friend or family, probably within 10 seconds. That's how short your mind will stay. But that's okay. That's completely normal. That's actually a part of the practice. And something to even blow your mind, every time your mind wanders and you bring it back, you are actually strengthening your prefrontal cortex. That is the part of your brain responsible for focus, for decision making, and emotional control. So you're strengthening it because you're training it and you're guiding it back. That is good. So even failing at meditation is actually you're succeeding because you are guiding your brain, you are training yourself to be better at it. But one critical mistake that people make that prevents this brain change from happening is when you notice you're thinking about, let's say your mind is wandering, you're thinking about grocery list or some awkward conversation that let's say you had from yesterday. Just you need to smile and you need to come back to counting. You don't need to
Mhm.
stop what you're doing and think about that. So this is very important, that you do guide it back, you do guide your mind back, and you prioritize your exhales for the day, and you don't prioritize wherever your mind wanted to. So that's important.
Okay. And meditation, we have heard a lot about it. We have heard a lot of people saying that it brings a lot of positive change to them. Can you tell us what specific mental health benefits can person expect from morning meditation, like real tangible changes which you can see maybe within a month or a week or say 3 months? If you could tell us more about that.
Yeah, definitely. I would say the benefits are honestly, they are profound, they are remarkable. Um, Regular morning meditation, even if it's for just 5 to 10 minutes, it's shown to reduce anxiety and depression symptoms significantly. It changes your brain structure over time. It
Hmm.
rewires your neural pathways, and it strengthens these areas. Um, it prioritizes the strengthening of these brain synapses for emotional regulation, and it weakens those areas that are associated with fear, with stress, or with, let's say, something traumatic. So it helps in rewiring your brain's neural pathways. And that is more scientific, and that's what's happening in your brain, in your body. But day to day, what you can notice is you will become less reactive. You will not have this very reactive spike in anger behavior. If someone cuts you off in traffic, if the Starbucks barista made your coffee cold, instead of rage, you will take a breath and you will move on. And that
Yeah.
is wonderful. You make better decisions because you are not operating from this stress, caffeinated life, scattered place. You are not operating from that viewpoint. Point. You will also sleep better because you have trained your mind to have this moment of relaxation, this state of calmness, and you have trained your mind to settle. And a part that helped change everything for me personally is develop this sort of inner witness, a part of you that can observe your thoughts and emotions without being completely controlled by them. So you can think about what's bothering you, what you're thinking, and you notice these. You don't judge those, you just observe them. And it's kind of like having a superpower where you can sort of watch your regular behavior patterns, like this things makes my anxiety arise, and you can try to think about things on how to combat it. But this would only work if you understand one key principle about thoughts that usually therapists don't mention. It's like creating a buffer between what happens to you and how you
Mhm.
respond, and that buffer is mental freedom.
Your mental health isn't a luxury, it's a necessity, and people should be more careful about how they use social media, how they are interacting with people, and how much time they have for themselves. So
Yeah.
let's put all this together. So, from the conversation, what I've understood is that you need like 15 minutes in the morning before you do anything else. You should spend these 15 minutes for yourself. You need to wake up, have deep breaths in the morning in your bed. You can do that. After that, you can do your morning routine, some small stuff, and then you should also do a quick meditation in which you're focusing your mind. Even if it wanders here and there, you should bring it back. Try to do it easily, try to do it in a relaxed state. You can do your journaling if you're a person who likes to write down the things. And then also for 3 to 4 minutes, you should do some gentle stretching or movements and focus on breathing and release your tensions. In the morning, if you can do this, if you can take 15 minutes for yourself instead of checking on phone or having some conversation with friends or whatever you do in general right now, you change those 15 minutes with all this interesting routine, definitely within 7 days or maybe within 2 weeks, you're going to see a very big change in the way you are dealing with the rest of your day. And if 15 feels too much for you, just start with 10 minutes in the start. Just breathe with intention, just breathe, relax, and enjoy your day afterwards. And thanks, Sukman, for helping us with this topic, which lot of people know about, but they still are concerned if they should be doing it the right way, or what they are missing. So we'll be with you in the next podcast, and for all our viewers, we would like to ask them to comment and to subscribe and to share this content with their friends so that we all grow further. Thanks a lot. Have a great time.